Hey everyone, I'm Mo, the Black Hippie Mom, and I'm super excited that you're here. If you're new to my channel, I'm so grateful. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Please be sure to leave a little sun emoji in the comments so that I can greet you personally, and make sure you like if you like this content and subscribe if you like my channel, and I would love for you to join our family. If you're already subscribed to the Black Hippie Mom channel, thank you so much. Your continued support is so appreciated. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So I'm super excited to be filming this video. I honestly have pushed it off because only those closest to me know that I am pregnant. And I was really nervous about making the video, but you know what? You can't let people's opinions of you get in the way of your purpose. So with all of that being said, let's jump right in. So I did take notes because I am now about 8 weeks, so it was a little bit ago, so I did have to take some notes. So the first day of my last period was April 9th. And of course I didn't know it then, but just in retrospect. April 23rd is when I started having some symptoms. I did have light cramping and I had a creamy white discharge, which is normal before my period, but after my period, 2 weeks after my period is very strange. April 24th, I started implantation bleeding, but basically I just had some drops of blood in the toilet when I went to use the bathroom. And then when I wiped, the tissue was pink. So this is my third pregnancy, so I already knew what implantation bleeding was and the timing aligned. So at that point, I really was like, okay, I'm pregnant. The 25th, again, I had light bleeding, not all day, it was just spotting, enough for me to wear a liner, but not enough to fill it. And on the 25th, when I wiped, the tissue was brown. So it didn't stay pink, it was never red, but it did turn brown. And then on the 26th, it was the last day that I spotted. Okay, so the 26th, the spotting was done. So I was already on high alert at that point, but I have had a false pregnancy before, and I've also had a miscarriage. So I really was trying to keep myself in a calm mindset, not frantic, not trying to monitor symptoms. So I really was trying to focus on not focusing on the pregnancy. So on the 27th of April, I experienced, that is when I knew I was pregnant symptoms began. And here they go. So number one for me was headaches. With my second pregnancy, my son, I had headaches consistently for like 2 weeks. This pregnancy was the same. They started on the 27th, and I still from time to time get headaches. So that's number one. Backaches. So I always get backaches with my period. So it was kind of hard to determine, but it's just like really consistent, irritating backaches. And I sat down a lot at work this year, so I didn't know if it was just my position when I was sitting, but I did have backaches. Number three for me was fatigue. So I was extremely tired, like to the point where I would have to sometimes lay my head down on the desk at work because I was just so tired. And it was usually around midday. So about 12 o'clock, oh my goodness, I was ready to go. I told my coworker every day, like, I'm ready to go. It's time to go. I'm exhausted. So fatigue was another, like, okay, something's up. And then mood swings. This is a big one for me. I'm not a big crier. I don't cry often. And so on the 28th, Cliff said something to me that made me just cry. And I was like, oh Lord, here we go. Because again, I don't cry like that. I also was teaching at the time. I was a teacher. So I was really irritated very easily with my students. Like I was snappy. And so my moods were all over the place. And that was definitely the crying more so, but me being constantly irritated, it was kind of like, okay, something's going on. So I have down on the 29th, I started experiencing some light nausea, insomnia, and bloating. So again, this was kind of close to the time that my next period was supposed to start. And I have the Flow app, so I knew exactly when it was coming. And so I was kind of thrown off a bit by, okay, is this my period or is this pregnancy? And honestly, in the beginning, the earliest symptoms, it's so hard to tell. I mean, people can tell you all day long, oh, I just knew, but it's just really hard to tell. So in the beginning, it's like every symptom puts you on red alert. And then you're like, oh, well, now am I creating symptoms? Because now I'm thinking of it constantly. So it really can play mind tricks on you in the beginning. But I'm gonna give you a couple more symptoms, and I feel like these ones can help you differentiate between period and pregnancy. Okay, so on May 6th, I started drinking a lot of water. And like, I'm not really a water person. I know I should be. I'm an Aquarius, for God's sakes. But I don't know, you know, like, I'm not just like, ooh, water. That's like the first thing I want. But as of May 6th, that's all I wanted. And I would sit at work and drink bottles of water. So for me, I think if you're super thirsty, that's a symptom that people don't often talk about. That is definitely a sign. Increased appetite, baby. I'm talking about, I was hungry. Like, them school lunches are disgusting. I was eating 3 school lunches at a time, 5 breakfasts. Like, I was eating. So if you are ravenously hungry, you might be pregnant, babe. And it's different from your period. Period, you have specific things that you want, and you're not like starving. Pregnancy, early pregnancy, starving, okay? And yeah, so those were the earliest signs. Some that I hear of that are pretty typical or that I also experienced were like vivid dreams. That is one that I think is pretty, even if you don't remember the dream, just having a vivid dream, you know, that's definitely one. And the smell. So you do have a heightened sense of smell. I also experienced that. I could not go into the faculty bathroom. It smelled like a porta potty, like it was horrible. To the point where I asked a coworker, like, can you come here and smell this? Like, is it just me? And it was just me, but it was horrible. So sense of smell. And finally, the last one that people do talk about that is a real thing is a nasty taste in your mouth. So people say metal taste, but I would go so far as to say it could just be like, you know, like it's just like this taste, like it's just a nasty taste or bad breath. A lot of people I know have experienced like bad breath in the beginning. And you know when your breath a little funky, you can taste it. Like it just tastes weird. Yeah. So those are the earliest symptoms that I experienced. I am gonna come back, of course, and talk about some more things. But I think again, the main thing is in the very beginning, it's so hard to tell. So just try your best not to stress yourself out. Just try to meditate. Think about other things as much as you can. I know if you're watching this video, you're probably like I was and like up at friggin' 12 o'clock trying to look at different symptoms and early before period, pre symptoms. But at the end of the day, you know, what is gonna be is gonna be. And if you are pregnant, sometimes just waiting until it's time to take that test can be so torturous, but try to find ways to take care of yourself until then, okay? That is so important. And I'm sending you so much love and light if you're trying to conceive, and good luck on your journey if you've just found out that you are. And please stay with me because I've got so much more for you. Have a day full of happiness, guys. See you next time.